Hello, and welcome, welcome to Adventures of Deanna. I'm Deanna. Oh, and thank you for being here today. I know I gotta say something. One second, I'm just not with. I'm not on top of my game. That's all I got to say. I'm not on top of my game today. So welcome. I'm Deanna. I'm on an adventure to lose over 100 pounds. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just sharing my experience and my wisdom and anything crazy else that I want to because it's my channel and YouTube allows me to do that. So why not do it, right? It's fun. I think it's fun. It's exciting. You might laugh at my adventure to lose over 100 pounds, but that's for you to laugh at. It's my life and I do it my way. So what can I say? Hello. Thanks for being here. Oh, today we're talking about confessions. Confessions. Have you ever have you ever confessed? Have you ever confessed? Have you ever made a confession? Confession. Oh, I've made so many confessions on my YouTube channel. So, oh, well, thank you. That's so sweet. That's the sweetest. Misty's the best. If you don't know Misty, you should check out her channel because she and Cheryl, they're the best. And anybody else who's here, they are also the best. Because I don't want to alienate anyone. I don't want to say somebody's not the best because you're all the best. Yay. Anyway, yeah, she's an open book. That's for sure. She's an open book. But sometimes, well, we have to make a confession. Like, maybe it's around your step goal. Maybe it's around your eating. Maybe it's around your diet, your exercise, your attitude, who knows? There's so many, so many awesome reasons why we could possibly feel the need to confess. And that's what we're going to kind of get into today. But I want to welcome you. Please tell me where you're from. Leave it in the comments, leave it in the chat, wherever. But welcome. I want it to be my Saturday morning ritual, but stuff gets in the way a lot. And I'm sorry that stuff gets in the way. It's just the way that it is. It's not pre-recorded, it's live, and blah, blah, blah. But I want it to be a Saturday morning ritual. I think it's a great place where we can celebrate our success, where we can confess our sins, and we can stay accountable to ourselves and to each other. And it just helps us with our self-awareness. It helps us with staying, committed to our goals, helps us with overcoming obstacles and challenges. And that's why it is a part of my Saturday morning ritual, although it's not always 1,000% consistent. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry that, sometimes you're like all excited for Saturday morning and you're up and you're ready and you got all your stuff done and you're like, oh, damn it. Deanna's not on today. Well, you just gain an hour to do whatever, piddle around the house, do whatever you want to do, get your stuff done early. It's, and sometimes I'm here and you don't get that hour, but you can still piddle around and listen. You don't have to that's the great thing about this show. It's not one of those shows where where you have to be completely actively engaged. You can just listen. You can be cleaning the house and listen. You can be driving and listen. You can out for a walk, getting your steps in and listen. You don't have to just be sitting and watching. And speaking of sitting, the next part of the Saturday morning ritual is we got to get up and move for 1 minute. It's 1 minute. 1 minute. We're going to get up. We're going to move because it's the mind-body connection. When your blood is pumping, your body is moving, your mind is moving too. I just think it energizes and focuses, and it's amazing. So we're going to get up and we're going to get my brain a work in because I got to sit here and talk to y'all for an hour. So we got to make sure that I am ready for the challenge of that. So let's get up, move your body however you want to move your body. You can do what I do. You can do whatever you want to do. But please don't just sit there. Get up and move. At least fidget with your feet, like bounce your leg up and down, something. Okay, don't just sit there still. That's not what we're going for. We're going for movement. So get up and move with me, please. All right, let's go.
Let's find a disco. You're stuck at home being so lazy. Hey.
Sorry.
Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. Wanna come dance with me. Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. Wanna come dance with me. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. I can see you buzzing like you can't say no. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. Come on, let yourself be free. Be the best that you can be. Come move your body. Come move your body. Only settle for the best. Live your life with no regrets. Come move your body. Hey, come move your body.
Well, other than that little tiny snafu that I had there where I couldn't find my screen and I couldn't we didn't do too bad. We didn't do too bad on that one. So anyway, welcome. So what happening? What's happening? Life happens. We understand. Oh, very happy to be part of your Saturday morning ritual. So is Loki. Loki is also proud to be a part of my Saturday morning ritual. You know what's also happy to be part of my Saturday morning ritual? Your successes. Your successes are. What are your success? It's been a couple weeks, so think back. Last week, week before, the week before that, any big successes that you would like to share with me? Confess your success. Can you confess? Is it a confession if it's something positive? I don't know. What are the rules on that? Happy dancing. She's a dancer. Mm-mm-mm. I'm a little like extra energy today, I guess. I had a good night's sleep. Helps to have a good night's sleep. It's the last day of the month. That's pretty exciting. I like the last day of the month. Except for I don't like September, and we're going to talk about September a little bit more. Any successes we're here to say. We're here to share our successes. Anybody want to share with me your successes? That dog, he is just like, can you guys hear that? Is he's just like really bothering you? He's like itching and whatnot. Whoa, look at you. Did you guys see that? She didn't eat fast food or sugar and she's down a few pounds. Oh my gosh, sugar. Sugar. So, sugar. Let's talk about sugar. No, I'm not, how do I want to say this? You know, words are so important in the way that we choose what we say. For a long time, I wasn't bothered by sugar. I didn't have intense sugar cravings so much. And it didn't really bother me whenever other people would eat sugar around me. I don't know what happened. But recently, sugar is like a craving, and sugar is like something that I can't, it makes it harder to say no to. And all of a sudden I feel like, oh my God, who am I? I'm a sugar addict now, which I don't believe in. Number one, I think that's all a thing in your brain. That's not an actual thing. But it showed up and I'm like, go away, sugar. Just go away. I don't like this. That's not who I am. That's not me. That's not the type of person I am. I don't do that. That's why. Why are you here? Why are you showing up in my life? I didn't invite you in. I don't want to go on a date with you. Go away. Like, go away. So, yeah, confession. I've been having sugar issues where since I started my YouTube channel, this is the first time I've had like issues with sugar. What is that about? What is that? If smart minds want to know if you have any insights. But anyway, it has never been a thing for me. I'm not a sugar person so much. I don't know what it is that my body, I can't explain it, but sugar has been an evil thing to show up in my life in a negative way. And normally it's just been something that exists in my life. It wasn't a issue. It wasn't. So that's my confession of the week. So I'm really proud of you, Cheryl, for not eating fast food or sugar. Although fast food and sugar are, they're kind of linked as far as that, highly processed, very palatable foods. And maybe because I've had zero fast food is why that there's so much, calling for sugar. My body's like, hey, but you're not giving me fast food either. So maybe we should have some of that. We're going to try and replace it with sugar, replace all that fast food that I used to give it with sugar. So hormonal changes, possibly. Who knows? But I control my thoughts. I control my cravings. I can get past this mentally. I don't even know what I'm enjoying about it because it doesn't make me feel any better. It doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't do anything other than other than that nice little dopamine hit whenever you first eat it, just the first bite. I like your questions. I guess I can, but I think it's too easy for people to use that as a thing. Addiction or sugar addiction, and specifically like, oh, I'm so addicted to sugar. Like, stop saying it, and maybe you could stop being addicted to sugar. But the more that you say that, the more that you say you're addicted to sugar, I just think it reinforces the behavior of eating sugar. So I don't think that I do believe you that some people that it can be real, but I don't think that it's a good thing to just reinforce it by constantly saying it. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel me? Do you get what I'm saying? Anyway, what other successes do we have? What other successes do we have this week? So, any other success? I'm trying to brainstorm because I didn't brainstorm ahead of time if I had any successes, and it's been like 3 weeks, and trying to think. I think it's something. I think it's mentally. I got a 3 weeks. My God, that's amazing. I got to do some deep thought on this because I don't know what it is. And it's just been like the month of August was terrible. Terrible. But it's a whole month. Also, I didn't have my period this month. I had like 1 day of spotting. Anyway, that's too much information. Let's move on. You get whatever I think of on my show. And I'm going to regret that someday, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, do you guys, have you ever, it could be stress. It could be stress for sure. We're going to think about for a minute, have we ever confessed and how did it make us feel? We're just going to do a little, think about it session the last 2 times. I don't know if it's premenopause or actual menopause. This premenopause stuff, I don't know. It just seems to go on forever. It's going to be my excuse for the rest of my life, I guess. Anyway. Oh, have you ever confessed? Have you ever had a confession? Did you ever make a confession? And how did it make you feel afterwards? So that's what we're just going to think about that for a second. In the last couple of episodes, we didn't do a journaling exercise. We're going to journal today. I'm going to put a little song. And just think about it. Have you ever had a confession and how did it make you feel afterwards?
pick you up, even if you can't let go. I'll untie the invisible ropes that keep you down. I'm taking matters into my own hands now. Let's face it, we only got this life to live out. So follow me, I'm ready to go. I'll take the lead, I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go.
I guess I have to make a confession myself. I always use that time to rearrange my screens because normally I'm like running behind and I don't have everything all perfect the way that I want it. And that is normally with the chance that I finally get to get everything set up the way that I like it so that I can be more organized and present and here and all of the things. That's my confession. Oh, it makes you feel better. It makes you feel good. Like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. I was reflecting on this last night and I was going to talk about something completely I do this all the time. I was going to talk about something completely different and then something pops in my head and then I'm just obsessed and I have to talk about that all the time. So it's always like, oh no. And then, so this, anyway, we'll get to that. No, we won't. I'll forget. So this morning I had to put together a little journal sheet and all, well, it's not really a journal sheet. It's just a monthly review. And then I threw in a steps tracker because anyway, my ADHD brain, I guess, had to do things. And yeah, and I have to talk about this because it's on my mind. So makes you feel better. It makes you feel better. When I was doing my weekly weigh-ins, there was a part of me that some weeks would just absolutely dread doing my weekly review, my weekly weigh-in, because the scale went up or it wasn't a great number or, you know, for various reasons. It wasn't until I did that weekly review that I got it off my chest and really that I could move on. And I'd find myself like sometimes, you know, my video was supposed to come out on a certain day of the week and I didn't want to do it. So I kind of procrastinated and I put it off. And sometimes I put it off way too long. And it wasn't until I actually got it recorded and edited and posted that I could move on. That posting of that video, that recording of that video, that marked the end of the week. That meant the new week started. Then I just delayed it by like 3 or 4 days because I'm procrastinating because I have a confession to make. I've got something I got to get off my chest. I've got to say, you know, I didn't do the things that I was going to say. So it was very helpful for me to do my weekly review, to confess the things that had happened the week before. And we're going to talk about reasons why that is today. So, do you have any ideas on why confession can feel good, why it can be good for your mental health, why it can feel like it's healing, why it can feel, you know, just good. Do you want to throw any guesses out there on things that I might or might not have prepared today to talk about with you about the wonderful benefits of confession? Have you ever done real confession? And like when I wanted to, you know, when I'm preparing, I do a lot of the Google searchings and everything was like religious. And I was like, I've never done a religious confession, to be honest with you, to confess. can dwell. Yeah, you can dwell on it. It's going to affect your mood because you're just like, you're just stuck in it. It's like this. I always say it's the quicksand that all the cartoons told me about. We're going to have all this quicksand in real life. No, except for that. You dwell on it. That's like being trapped in the quicksand, you know? Never done a religious confession. Me either. Not alone. Yay, yay, yay. So yeah, we dwell on it. So one of the things is that, and I'm going to kind of tie this into, I think that whenever by doing my weekly reviews, by doing my monthly reviews, by doing my quarterly reviews, by doing my yearly reviews, that is just a way of reflection. It's a way of confessing. So that was just my tie-in to, we should be reflecting on our weeks like we do here as part of the Saturday morning ritual. We reflect on the past week. And sometimes it's not always about our successes. Sometimes it's about our shortcomings. That self-awareness, it helps us with our personal growth. It helps us with our emotional well-being. It helps us with so many things. Traditionally, okay, yeah. Whenever I talk about confession, it means that we're going to admit to doing things wrong or secrets. But it really can be applied, I think, a little bit more broadly to, acknowledging our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, whatever it may be. I was kind of thinking about that. So, oh man, I wish I would have wrote it down because it was like as I was going to bed last night. I was like, thinking about the sins that we make and dear body, I have sinned you. I have, thought about my neighbor because I wanted my weight loss to be like theirs. Oh, that's a sin, right? His forgiveness helps you. Oh my gosh. Yes, forgiveness. Forgiveness. That's so huge. So whether it's from God or whether it's from yourself, how important is forgiveness? I talk about this, self-compassion that we need to have all the time, and that's forgiving yourself for the time in when you have weak moments, for whenever you are not at your best. That forgiveness is so important. And for a lot of people, it does, there are programs out there, weight loss programs, all based around God and your relationship with God and how God wants better for you and all of these things. I think it's fascinating. There's no wrong way to lose weight. Whatever works for you, if that's the way that you want to do it, I'm all for it. If it's working, if you like it, if you enjoy it, and it's healthy, I don't see a problem with it. Do what you got to do. Be you. Be you. Do what feels good for you. As long as it's not, completely harmful. Anyway. So what were the other sins I was thinking of? Oh, gluttony, eating too much or something like that. What other sins and how they relate to weight loss. And that was a fun little, thought. So when we do regular self-reflection and review, whether it's weekly, it's monthly, it's quarterly, whatever it is, it's just a really good structured time to just reflect, to think about our actions, our decisions, our progress towards our goals. We can think about our shortcomings, our mistakes, because sometimes it's just a mistake. Our areas for improvement. It can help us to just strategize better for the future. So It could be anything from, noticing that you're avoiding a difficult conversation. It could be that you're not following your exercise schedules and routines. And that, if it's that, maybe that's going to help to motivate you to adjust, to being like, oh gosh, I got to get back to that, whatever it is. Maybe it's something mood related. Maybe you're like, man, I skipped all my workouts and, I was just not feeling it or whatever. Well, if you're not feeling it, maybe that's a sign telling you that whatever your workout routine was, it's boring and you need to replace it with something else. So it's just a good way for you to find tips, tricks, and strategies to do something different. Like you guys are helping me with sugar, right? Right? Saying it out loud to somebody else, I know that there's a lot of benefits to writing it in a journal, but having those people that in your life that you can talk to about it is so helpful, because they can tell you maybe you're being too hard on yourself. Maybe they can tell you, different tips and strategies that you could use to help get you past whatever it is that you're going through. So there's so many awesome ways that it can help us out. So it can also help us with our emotional health and our mental health. Have you ever felt guilty, regret, anxiety because of something weight loss related? Whenever we get those negative emotions off of our chest, whenever we let them out, we confess the way that we've been feeling, it can help us to maybe, delegate some tasks so we feel less overwhelmed. Maybe it can help us get rid of that guilty feeling or that regret, because what's regret going to get us really? And just feeling bad. But we have to move on from it. And a lot of times once we get it off our chest, we tell somebody about it, we tell our journal about it, it's just, you can breathe again. You can move forward. But we get stuck in that quicksand of regret, guilt, shame, sadness, inaction. That's where we are. Those things, those lead to inaction. And we want to be in a place of action where we're taking action towards our goals, not stuck telling ourselves a bunch of stories about how blah, 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 blah. I don't even know, insert your own words there, because the words that you say to yourself when you're not feeling your best. So maybe you're frustrated about your progress on the scale, the number on the scale. Maybe you've gained a few pounds, maybe you're not losing fast. There's so many different variables that we could insert into this particular scenario. But if you just admit those feelings to someone and you get, support from a friend, from a mentor, from a stranger even, it can help you just feel a little bit better, to just feel less heavy, less weighed down by it all. Also, by focusing on like non-scale victories, like your energy levels or your clothing or something like that, that can also by confessing to someone else, oh my God, they can redirect your brain to what you should be thinking about, like those victories that you have, versus getting stuck in the quicksand of those negative thoughts about whatever it is that's troubling you. Whatever it is that's troubling you. So let's see. Another one is to goal setting and improvement. When we're regular looking, so everybody we have to review our goals, right? We have to review our goals. If we don't review our goals, how do we know if we're getting anywhere, right? If when you don't do it, you don't know. But so by taking a look at it, what did I do good? What did I do terrible? What should I stop doing? Whenever we look, at all of those things, what did I do good? What am I grateful for? We want to look at both sides of the page, the whole story. Because it's not just the negatives, there's good. Sometimes there are people that can only see the negative, they can never see the good. So you have to work really hard at finding those good things. And then there's also people who like to, really boost up the good things and put the not so good things under a rug and ignore them and not address them. So you got to work hard. You got to make that a goal to say, I can't just keep sweeping things under the rug. I really need to focus up and confront this and to make a change, to do something about it. When we have people in our community that are there to support us and stuff, it makes it easier to do those things. So goal setting and improvement. By looking at all of these things, the good and the bad, it can help us to set goals. It can help us to improve whatever it is that we're doing. Maybe you're a procrastinator. I tend to identify with people that procrastinate sometimes. Confessing this can be helpful to stop procrastinating, to set a goal and get to working on it. Maybe you confess that you're snacking mindlessly in the evening. So just by confessing it, you've got your chest, you're acknowledging it, and now you're making a plan to move forward. So you're going to prepare healthier snacks because you're like, I think I'm still going to want to snack. Okay, nothing wrong with snacking. But now you're going to choose to snack on something a little bit better, right? That's awesome. But just by being that aware, making a goal, it's huge. This one's a big one, I think. Relationships. So this is number 4 ways that confessing can help you out, by the way. Strengthening relationships. This can be your relationship with yourself. It can be relationships with your friends and family. So what different types of concessions can we make? If we're talking about friends and family, we could be, whenever you eat blah, 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 it makes me feel whatever. So say you're feeling left out or you're feeling, I don't know, just by talking it out. Maybe they weren't aware that they were making you feel that way. If somebody's bringing in snacks into your house all the time that you don't want to eat, and maybe that, for some people, I know that makes them feel anxious. Maybe, you're like, okay, so whenever you bring this food in the house, I try to keep it not in the house because when it's in the house, I feel anxious. I know it's there. It makes me feel anxious. It's a whole big thing. Maybe you can limit that and not bring it in the house so much. Just by confessing the way that you're feeling, you're going to improve your relationship with whoever it is you're talking to, because that open and honest communication, people like that. People like it when you are open and honest with them about the way that you feel. What? That's interesting. I love you. Oh, that's awesome. So Misty she's been going through it at work. She's got to have a lot of stress. She's doing more work than she's ever done. Like they're just piling it on her. And she was starting to get some self-doubt. And she decided, sorry, Misty, if I'm telling your story, but she was starting to get some self-doubt. And Misty's a boss. Like she's unbelievable. She's just the top of her game as far as her job goes and everything. So she has no reason to doubt herself. And she knows that, but she calls, she has a little voice in her head and she calls him by, she's got a little name for him and everything. And she's like, Pete, I think it is like, but go away, Pete. And so she wants Pete to go away. And so she's going to tell herself these affirmations. And so she put him in the doorway. So anytime she goes through a doorway, she has to tell herself an affirmation. And I just love that. It's like just to help her boost herself up during the day and not get into that negative mindset that has no business being there because she is phenomenal. So I'm really proud of her for, noticing what was going on, confessing it. She confessed it to us, said it was going on, and then she came up with a strategy and a solution. See how that works? And it's been working out. She still procrastinates though. Whatever. Yes, list of affirmations. Open book. Yeah, stupid Pete. Like, what? He doesn't know anything. Come on, Pete, go away. Anyway. But see, oh my God, that was such a great example of confession. You talk it out with your friends, we come up with a solution, so you got that relief from saying, okay, this has been happening. And then you're able to move on. You set up a strategy. You've been working on that strategy and it's been making some impact in your life. I didn't even think about that when I was wanting to talk about this. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Like a real life example right there. Maybe, okay, so there's all kinds of ways that it can help to strengthen your relationship. Just being honest with somebody. The weekly reviews are monthly reviews or daily reviews or, midday reviews. I don't care when you do reviews, do reviews. And anyway, it can help with your self-awareness. Daily reviews help you to understand what you're eating, how it makes you feel. So if you're doing daily reviews and you're making these notes, you might notice a pattern where every time that I eat whatever, I get tired at 3:00. But on the days that I don't eat whatever, I'm not tired at 3:00. Ding, ding, ding. Maybe there's a relationship there. It can help you see your self-awareness of your feelings. What makes you feel non-motivated? What makes you feel sad? What makes you feel happy? What makes you feel, super duper? All of these things. By doing self-awareness, by doing these reviews, it increases that self-awareness so that you can make baby changes, tiny habits, tiny changes, small little changes to change that, to make it go away, to keep that pattern away, to change that pattern. So being self-aware. Maybe it's self-doubt. Self-doubt is the worst. It's one of those things that you really have to work on with self-doubt. So do you have, I think that was five ways. It can help us strengthen our relationships, increases our self-awareness. It helps with goal setting and improvement. It helps with emotional and mental health benefits, and it helps with reflection and accountability. So those are 5 awesome ways that confessing can help you in your weight loss journey, and I think it's excellent. So my weekly download this week was, and I know I skipped a couple weeks, but anyway, neither here nor there. This week, it's a monthly review. It's a monthly review. It's just a sheet of some questions to ask yourself for your monthly review. So things like, what are you grateful for? How did you feel about this week? What were things that you did really good? What were your big accomplishments? What were things that, held you back a little bit? All of these wonderful questions are challenges, lessons to learn. What do you want to start doing? What do you want to stop doing? What do you want to continue? That's classic. I think that should, and then what's your next month's focus going to be? What's your next month's focus going to be? To doing just a little reflection at the end of the month or the end of the week. You could do this on weekly. And then I put 2 little boxes on there just for your own little, insert your own thing here. You can rate it from 1 to 5. How'd you do on whatever? Because we are not, just on weight loss. So I confess I need the support to thrive. Oh, that's sweet. Oh my God. That's what community is about. Community is about love and support. It really, it's just, we humans, we do better when we have it. And if you don't have a community, we welcome you into ours. We would love for you to join us. We would love for you to join us. That's all I got to say. The more the merrier. You can find us. Just keep watching. Watch these ladies' videos. Watch Miss Misty. Watch Miss Cheryl's Place. They're awesome creators here on YouTube. They're part of our community. And there's more. There's more of us. Oh, there's more of us. And we're great people. So check us all out. You'll see if you watch in the comments, you'll see the same names popping up. Join our Steps Challenge, by the way. Tomorrow is September 1st, and we're starting a brand new Steps Challenge. So my second part of my weekly download this week was actually, it's a steps tracker. It's a really basic steps tracker. So it's just got like week 1, and then it's got the days of the week, and then what your goal is according to how many steps you want to get. And then there's like actual steps. And then there's a column for like, did you hit your goal or not? Yes, no. And the goal is just to get yeses in there. And then notes like why, right? Making a note to yourself about why you didn't hit your goal that day or why you did hit your goal that day is so important. Okay. Maybe you didn't hit your goal because of the pants you were wearing. Because the pants you were wearing somehow made you feel self-conscious or restricted or whatever. So you didn't get up and move as much. Maybe it was because whatever your reason, justification, excuse, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it for that day is, there's some notes associated with that. There's a story that you're telling yourself about that. So you put it in a little box. At the end of the week, you can do a reflection. You can do a review. You can confess. You can whatever, just be, okay, what's going on? And then you can total up your week, because if you're part of Derek's Journey's Steps Challenge. So check out Cheryl's Place, check out my videos. I've got a Steps Challenge video. Either one, you can find ways that you can sign up for the Steps Challenge. I don't think it's too late today, but tomorrow it will be. But everyone's welcome. It's not about who can get the most steps. We get split up into teams, and then we get a team score. So you're just getting as many steps you can for your team. And then they get converted into points. And Derek has a great video every week about, where you are on the leaderboard for the Steps Challenge. And then at the end of the Steps Challenge, you just get to pat yourself on the back for doing a great job. That's it. Every week, don't forget to turn your steps into your captain. So I'm a team captain. Cheryl's a team captain. We got other team captains, great team captain. That word didn't come out. Anyway, it's fun. We haven't done a Steps Challenge in months, so I'm so excited to get to do another Steps Challenge with the group. I really like doing them. I think it's fun, and I think it's more fun than, whenever you're doing it with a group of people. Then if you're doing one of those like races on an app or something, I don't know anybody, and I don't have any the same camaraderie, that happens whenever you're doing it with other people. And then to see some of the number of steps that these people that are closely associated to you. Some of them, I don't know who they are, but I know that somebody knows them that's like, Kevin Bacon's 3 steps away or whatever. How do they get that many steps? My gosh, they're crazy, or whatever, but it's fun. It's fun. You should try it. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. You just need a way to track your steps. That's it. Like, and you got to track your steps. You got to wear it. You got to turn your steps in, and you got to go outside. Well, you can step inside. You can step wherever you want. And you don't even have to just get steps. You can even like ride a bike. There's like converters that can convert your bicycles to steps. Anyway, I'm a crazy person. What can I say? Get your steps, but use the tracker. You can download it on my website, adventuresofdeanna.com. Just in case you didn't know, maybe you're just watching the replay, or, who knows, however you found us, but you just want to check out www.adventuresofdeanna.com. And then if you go to the download page, it's there. But also, if you go into the show notes in the description and the comments of this video, they're there too. So however you want to do that, it's up to you. Have you ever done a monthly review? Tell me in the comments. Have you ever done a monthly review? Have you ever done a weekly review? Do you just do it in your head, or do you do it on paper? I like to be able to look back at those monthly reviews. I think it is a good reminder because I can't remember anything. So to look back at those at the end of the year and see, what I thought, what I was thinking, how I did, what I was doing. I like that. I find it's beneficial. I feel like I get so much out of it. And it reminds me of things that I might have forgotten if I wasn't doing it, especially when it comes to successes. Those can get so forgotten about very easily. And those successes are proof. There are proof about how strong, how resilient, how capable of change, how motivating, dedicated, committed, so many wonderful qualities and attributes that we have that we forget about, that we let peep come into our head and tell us different things. That's one of the things that it can help us with, is saying, hey, but look, this says differently. Here's evidence that you're wrong about that. And I like that evidence, because we forget. I used to do updates. Maybe I should start again. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, okay, so I got to a point where in here, Deanna can change her mind at any time. That's just that's the way it is. I got to a point where I was doing my weekly reviews, and then I got so burnt out, and I was like, I wasn't making as much progress as I wanted. I started to get that self-doubt in my head, and I started getting the shoulds in my head and what other people think of me and whatnot. That got all like, it can get in there. But so I didn't want to do the reviews too much because I felt like the reviews were actually hurting me versus helping me. But now that I haven't done reviews for 2 months, now I'm feeling like, well, maybe not doing them is actually hurting me. By doing them every week, it let me get stuff off my chest. It helped me to say, okay, here's the start of a brand new week. The past is the past. It helped me, those are 2 of the top things that I can think of that they really helped me out by doing weekly reviews. But then there's pros and cons to either or. So there's no right way. There's no wrong way. Isn't that confusing? Aw, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. So I think maybe I should bring back the updates. I'm still making my pros and cons list because, like I said, this came to me like last night, and I really wanted to talk about it. I really wanted to talk it out because do I want to do that? I know that it was kind of stressful sometimes. But then I also know that it was beneficial to me sometimes too. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right? Right? Ah, what about the dumb phrase? Maybe I shouldn't say that phrase. Anyway, this is a fun adventure, isn't it? Well, thank you for my therapy this week. I appreciate it. That was super awesome. I love it. It also helps, I guess, to confess that, all these crazy thoughts go on in my brain about all this stuff. So confession and commitment. Commitment is the next part. So once we confess, we have to make a commitment. I'm committing to the Steps Challenge this month. I don't know what else I'm going to commit to. I'll put that out in my weekly video this week that I'm committing to making a weekly video because I have to do an end of the month review for the month of August. So I'm going to be doing that. I'll let you know what else I'm committing to in that video. So I'm going to leave you hanging. You got to come back and watch that. Let me know. What are you going to commit to? Are you going to commit to doing a weekly review? Are you going to commit to doing a monthly review? Are you going to commit to something that is food, exercise, sleep, water related? Something completely not even that we were talking about today. What are you going to commit to? Is there anything that you need to confess? You can just put it on a piece of paper and then shred it. And that is also therapeutic. That is a way that we can confess. You don't actually have to confess to a person. You can just confess to a piece of paper and it still has benefits. It still has benefits. There's been studies. I lost my tab where I saw the study. Anyway, but there's studies. That's it. That's it for today's. Oh, wait, we got a journal. So why don't you think about for a second, think about your confessions, think about your commitments, blah, 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 something like that. And journal for a second. Oh no, back to the stage. Where's my little thing? I gotta press the button. Blah. Work.
Jumping from cliffs so high.
I want to go back over here. Okay. Because we skipped so many journaling sessions today.
A new place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way.
I don't know about you guys, but these songs just help me feel it's all from the all cool stuff. It's all I'm ready to go.
I found my way.
Next,
I found my way.
I'm ready to tackle.
I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way.
I hope Saturday
I found my way.
you guys still
In bad times, I know I'll be okay.
hear me over this.
Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way.
to confess whatever's going on in my head, you know?
Cause I found my way.
I love you guys.
My way. My way. Cause I found my way.
Yeah.
I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay.
I'll see you guys
Cause I found my
next
way.
video. But don't forget to confess and make a commitment to being the best you possible. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always,